Everybody likes a story with a happy ending, right? I know there's people that were shedding tears over that SLHF900 that I had last week up on the bench, which was full of water. We're going to see if we can use some parts out of it to fix another one. Going to work on another old beast today. This is an SLHF900. This is actually my SLHF900 and one of the very first 900s that was actually available for sale, because I got the first one out of the first batch. And you can see the serial number on mine is pretty low, 449. Looks like this is the serial number. Anyway, this came from the first shipment of SLHF900s that arrived in Canada, as I worked at one of the big dealers. So as soon as something new came out, I had to have it. I paid a lot of money for this machine. It had the head replaced on it once because the original 900s all had the bad head disc that would clog. There was a filler that they put, an epoxy filler that they put between the two dual azimuth heads, and well, the initial ones weren't done right, and they all started clogging the heads on a regular basis. This machine's been modified many times. I don't even remember what these wires were put here for something, for control of something of some type, maybe a remote pause or something. I forget, but anyway, this machine's had a lot done to it over the years. The last time, I don't know if we saw this one the last time I worked on it. I actually didn't work on this last time. What I did, if you look at this here, it looks like the head drum is not right, because it's not. See, this is what the head drum should look like for this machine, but you'll notice that it will not turn. The head drum is seized on this. This is actually, I guess, one of the arms I didn't put back on. I got the screw for it here as well, but that's what this one here goes here. I pulled the head drum out of this to put it into my SLHF900 that the head drum seized up on. As you can see, this one here, it will not turn. It is completely seized. It's the bearing in here that's bad. So this time I'm going to take this salvaged head from this other SLHF900 and we're going to put it into this one and see if I can get this machine to run. Of course, the difference is this one has the second rotary transformer on top for the two flying erase heads, as the SLHF900 was an editing machine. So right now I currently have two SLHF900s. One's got the original head disc in it, the other one's got the head drum and disc, and the other one's got the head drum from this machine in it. And I just threw the other one back in here for safekeeping. So I'm going to swap this today, see if I can get this machine to work again. That would be nice if I could get this machine to work with that spare head drum. And I'll have to change the motor assembly off this because, of course, the other one I ripped the motor off it to fix that SLHF900. So I'll have to separate the motor assembly from this one and put it onto the other disc. So let's get started on this adventure. Probably only a few screws holding this thing together because I didn't think I would ever be rebuilding this machine. I figured this would just become a parts donor. But if I can make it work and have another functional machine, then that's the best thing to do, right? Try to keep as many of these old beta machines running as possible. Because for one, they're actually quite valuable. Now, someone who's never collected beta or had anything to do with beta just sees this as not worth anything, right? But to a collector or someone who has beta tapes, these old beta machines are quite valuable. Now, I don't know if there's anything else wrong with this machine other than having to swap the head disc in, or the head drum, the lower drum assembly and upper drum. But as you can see, The plugs here were identical between the 900 and the 1000. Unplug the motor, unplug it here. While I was looking in my storage locker, I came across a machine that I've been actually looking for a while, and I forgot where I did with it. A Panasonic 1730. Maybe, just maybe, we'll deal with that one at some point in the not too distant future. It has a magnitude of problems, I'm sure, because it hasn't been turned on probably for 25 years. Actually, I did start working on it at one point, and I just decided, didn't have time, couldn't be bothered, so I kind of gave up on it probably 7 or 8 years ago. I started on it on the channel. I don't think I even published a video. I started working on it, and I just kind of put it away. It's like, I'll deal with this some other day. This is a rainy day project. And, well, that rainy day project never got looked at again, so that one will probably be brought up, put on the bench again at some point. Alright, now the head drum should just lift out of here. Gotta be careful that I don't, for where the heads are, because I can't rotate it because it's stuck. So we'll just carefully lift the head drum out, bring all the wires with it, and gotta remove the motor. So remove the motor assembly, and put the other motor, put it on the other one and pop it back in, and then this disc will go into a box for safekeeping because the heads on here are fine. It's just it's seized up, it won't turn. See, I can't turn this even if I try. It is completely stuck. But the motor here should be okay. This entire unit would have been out of my SLHF900. When I swapped it last time, I swapped the motor and everything from the 900 over to the 1000. So this 900 will have the motor assembly from a 1000 and the drum assembly from another 900. And my 1000's got the drum assembly from this one. I will clean that conductive glue out of here as well while I've got this separated. Should just lift off just like that. There we go. Okay, that goes away for safekeeping for future use if I ever need to do a disc swap. As you can see, it just will not turn. And I don't know whether it's seized up on this upper bearing here or on the lower bearing, but somewhere in here this bearing is completely seized, or it could be the rotary transformer too, as the glue may have let go on the rotary transformer and the windings all just, anyway, it's stuck. So first things first, I'm going to pick out this all corroded, dried circuit glue that's in here, because this stuff's bad news. It causes these hall sensors to fail. It breaks the connections or eats away at the copper. So let's see if we can get this out of here. Get that out. I don't want to have it go together with that washer stuck in there. That would not be good. That was the one that was off the bottom of the drum, I believe. Reroute the wires in here and reattach the motor assembly. One has to be careful when attaching this that you don't put too much pressure on the top part of the drum, because you could force the drum down and damage heads. So I want to make sure that I don't put any undue pressure on the drum when I'm doing this. So I kind of hold it up off the bench and just use the motor's back together. Everything's turning smoothly. Time to reinstall into the machine itself. So we'll set the drum assembly back into the chassis. Like that. Okay. Hopefully nothing damaged when I put that in. We'll find out pretty quick though once I get everything plugged in. Well, this will spin up and give me a picture. That's the hope anyway, is that everything will work. As far as I know, everything else on this machine was okay. Replace the spring-loaded mounting screws. Okay, screws are installed, snugged down. Plug the rotary transformer into the head preamp. And plug the servo circuit in to two plugs. Reinstall the motor cover. Swing the board back into place. I got a couple of screws to put in here, and then I do have a I do have to put the top guide back together. Alright, moment of truth. Well, almost. We're getting there. We gotta put this other guide piece back in. Piece goes in just like this, and it's held down with one little small screw. Just like that. Going to clean the lower drum. It's got all kinds of crap on it. So I'm position the heads away from where I'm working because I don't want to touch them with this, that's for sure. So, because there's all kinds of garbage on this lower drum here, which will certainly cause the picture to be more than substandard because of all this debris. It'll hold it. Look at what's coming off of here. Right, so we position the heads away so that the heads aren't anywhere with a Q-tip, because Q-tips are disastrous to video heads. I'm sure that that's what happened to that 8mm deck, where someone got in there with a Q-tip. See how it works now. Should work a little better now that I've cleaned all the crud. There's my tracking control on this thing. I forget where it is. There it is. Yeah, it's playing. Got a good picture on it too. So there's playback. It's looking good. Let's check out how the freeze frame looks on this. It's got a separate slow tracking. Where is that? Let's go into slow mode. Adjust the slow tracking. There you go. So this machine had a jog shuttle dial. You could turn it one frame at a time. I'll show you the controls on it. So on this one there was the jog shuttle dial and this control dial in the front. You could go one frame at a time when you put it into pause, forward or reverse. If you turned it faster, it went faster. If you turned it the other way, it went reverse. You could also open this up, and now you had a jog shuttle dial and a controller for doing basic editing, controlling another machine. But here you had the same jog shuttle dial. This one was actually linked. If I turn on one on the other side, you'll see it turns here, you see. But it goes the opposite way. I guess it goes the same way. Yeah, I'm turning it to the left, so it's going counterclockwise. So there's a gear in there which turns it the same direction. So if I'm turning this clockwise, right, this one's also turning clockwise. So there's a gear in here to keep these two synchronized. Otherwise, when you turned it one way, when it was open or closed, it would go the other way. So you've got the single frame. You've also got a jog dial here. Slow-mo, normal speed, double speed, and right up to full search. And it goes back to pause, and if you release the pause or hit play, hit ×2, it will play at ×2 with sound. It'll adjust the tracking for that to make it. So you can speed watch programs. Now, as I say, I have not done any alignment whatsoever on it. It's just, this is how the head drum went in, so I haven't tweaked anything up to this point. So I've had this one now playing for about an hour. No issues, so I'm going to say it's done. Everything's sounding good. When it starts up, all functions are working. Fast forward, or search. Fast forward, rewind, and eject. What more could someone ask for? Another fixed Betamax. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.